Ooh, lots of props tonight. So come on to sit down in a nice tall position, either in easy pose or a nice kneeling position, somewhere where you can find a seated tall spine. Just move into your spine a little bit. You do a few seated cat-cows. Take some open mouth exhales. When I started coming to my mat, the quiet part was so hard for me. So I really learned to become busy at the beginning of my quiet classes so that I don't mind so much. When you can kind of get into your body a little bit and get out of your head, it allows you to calm down enough to get back into your head in a quieter, more meditative way. And then just come to sit still. Come to sit tall and still, crown of the head reaching up. And take a few slow, easy breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth, in through the nose, out through the mouth, and one more time, in through the nose, out through the mouth, and twist to the right for a few breaths. Keep the left hand on the left knee so the chest stays nice and open. You can even move here a little bit. And the other way. Open through your heart, your lungs, your chest. And back to center. And we're going to start off here in the pose that I crave whenever I get a free moment to come to my mat, legs up the wall. If you want to take your legs up the actual wall, please feel free to scooch on over. I'm going to take it here on my mat with the help of my trusty blanket. If you're going to use your bolster for class, you can also use your bolster to prop your hips up. A little bit of propping is really nice just so that you can float there effortlessly. So blanket next to you and roll on down. And then lift your hips, blanket goes underneath the hips. Roll your shoulders underneath you. And then once you take your legs up, don't turn your neck left or right. Just keep your face neutral. You can hug the knees in and then press the legs up. You can have a very soft bend in your knees. And if this doesn't feel fairly effortless, just bring the feet down, readjust the blanket, and try again. Soften your knees, just wiggle your toes a little bit, roll your ankles, and take a few open mouth exhales. The process of calming the body down on purpose, of bringing it into a state of healing and relaxation. Move into the knee joints. Pedal your legs a little bit. And then maybe out to a V shape or forward and back with the legs, working into the hips. Nothing too taxing, just feeling your body move in this upside down position. And then come back into center, back into stillness, and take a few open mouth exhales. Really listen to the sound of your exhale. 2 more. And 1 more. And bend into your knees, hug the knees to the chest, and just stay here for a few rounds. Feel the weight of your body pressing you into the earth, the shoulders pressing in, the back of the head. All of these things are signals to the brain and the parasympathetic nervous system to start to pay attention and bring the body into this state of quiet relaxation. And one at a time, feet to the earth. And before you move the blanket, just stretch out long and feel that little stretch through the front of the belly. Take your arms up overhead, your legs are long, and take some slow belly breaths. Exhale out of the mouth and listen to that exhale. And bend into your knees, bring your arms back down and lift the hips off of the blanket and come back into a neutral spine. And then keeping your feet on the earth, press the lumbar spine down to the earth. Get rid of the curve in your back. Flip your hands down so that you can feel the palms of your hands pressing into the earth. And take a few slow breaths now in and out through the nose, letting the breath calm you. And if you're holding on to stress and drama of your day or stress and drama of your year, you can go ahead and continue to have those open mouth exhales and can just sink into this moment in your life where everything is quiet and safe. And then bring your arms out to a T shape. Stretch out through the fingers and keep your palms facing down to keep the shoulders in this really internal rotation. If that's too much, feel free to bring the palms up. Walk your feet out as far as the mat. If you're really open in your hips, maybe even further. And drop the knees over to the right and press into the left foot so that the left hip reaches off the earth, and stretch, press the left shoulder down to the earth. And then back through center. So knees left, right foot presses into the earth, right hip lifts a little bit. And then draw the right shoulder down toward the earth a little more. And take a breath. And back through center one more time each way. Knees right, press into the left foot, left hip lifts a little, and then draw the left shoulder down. Back through center. Knees left. Press the right foot down. Let right hip lifts just a little. And right shoulder draws toward the earth. And back to center. I'm going to take the first of our little bolster poses here while we're still on our back. And this one is such a nice way to bring some passive steadiness into your body. So you're going to take your bolster, if you have it, or your blanket or your pillow, and bring it across your hips and belly so that you can feel the weight of that object pressing in. And then I'm going to invite you to also take your blindfold or kitchen towel, that something to cover your eyes. And we're going to be here for just a minute, taking long, slow breaths. Stretch out long through the legs, stretch out long through the arms. And just breathe in a way that you're pushing that bolster away with your gut, so that you're breathing very deeply into your belly in a way that you're moving the pillow or the bolster. And then as you exhale, just feel it press back in, and let this feel calming and soothing, this sense of grounding. Take a few more breaths just like that. Inhale big enough into your belly that you can feel that movement of the pillow. And then exhale softly, relax back down. 2 more. And then just stay here for a moment, breathing normally. And bring your awareness now to that something that's covering your eyes, that soft weight that's helping your eyes close. Just feel that resting gently. Soften through your cheeks and your jaw. And take a few more breaths here, just allowing the body to become more anchored. And reach up, moving the blindfold out of your way, moving the bolster out of your way, and hug your knees to your chest. Roll the ankles a few times, maybe even let go of the knees and roll the wrists a few times as well. And then take a few rocks and rolls on up into a seated position, or just one rock and roll on up, and then come up and over. And if you have your blanket your bolster or pillow, you can use it for comfort. We're going to come into a child's pose. So arms can reach forward to the bolster and then sink on back. Or you can bring the bolster so you're resting your forehead on it. Or you can just get rid of it altogether and find your way into your favorite child's pose. Taking this forward fold now on purpose, softening your eyes and jaw, and come back to the sound of your breath in this little cave of child's pose world here. Let your breath, let your brain focus in on the soothing sound of your breath. If it would feel good, maybe turn one cheek and feel that stretch through the side of the neck. And if you turn to one side, just gently lift up and turn the face to the other side. And take a few more rounds of breath while you listen. And slowly come on up. Make your way into tabletop position, moving your bolster out of the way and finding hands and knees. Turn your fingers out to the side and then shift the weight gently side to side. You can soften your elbows, spread out through your fingers, and keep your palms pressing into the earth to really get that stretch through the wrists. Take a few open mouth exhales. And then fingers go forward again and protract and retract your shoulders. So squeeze the shoulder blades together and then widen them apart from each other. Trying to release any tension you might have in your scaps and traps. Take a few shoulder rolls. And then the other way. And back to stillness and walk on forward for puppy pose. Hands reach out, hips stay over the knees, chest and heart melt to the earth. Feel free to use your pillow or bolster. And return to the sound of your breath. Notice the places where your body is pressing into the earth and relax there. And slowly come on up. And in your tabletop, come on down to forearm tabletop. And stretch that left leg back, toes to the earth, and take a few calf stretches here, keeping the toes pressing in, and then just lengthen the heel back. And then float the left leg up and bend into the knee a few times, flexing the heel. And back on down, second side, right leg stretches back, toes to the earth. And press yourself in and out of an Achilles tendon and heel stretch. And then into stillness, float the right leg up and bend the knee a few times. Bend and straighten. And back to center. Come back up to tabletop and then sit on back to rock pose. You can sit on your blanket or bolster and shrug your shoulders a few times. And the other way. If kneeling is not comfortable for you, come into easy pose. And then reach your arms down and roll the wrists. And the other way. And then lean forward enough that you can bring your hands to the earth, fingers pressing back behind you and palms to the earth. Spread out through the fingers and feel that stretch through the wrists and palms. And you can rock gently here side to side. If for some reason arms aren't long enough, you can bring in some blocks, or I would maybe not do that, maybe not bring them to your lap, but you can bring in blocks to have it be a little bit closer to you. And just pause in stillness and feel that stretch in your wrists and fingers. Soft bend in the elbows and spine, nice and long. Take another breath. And slowly come up. And just give your hands a little shake here, fingers spread wide. And shake pretty vigorously if you'd like, or more gently if that feels better. And then palms up, give yourself a little wrist flap. Take some open mouth exhales. I don't know why this one always feels so darn good. Take a few more. And then flip the palms down and give yourself a little wrist flap. Bring in some blood flow, bring in some release. And then reach your arms up overhead and roll the wrists one way. Slow, easy breaths. Might feel lots of energy coming up into the hands and wrists here as the arms are up and the blood flow is returning to the body instead of to the hands. And go the other way. You can actually start to feel a little fatigued as you do this. Just one more roll here as you bring some energy into those wrists. And then come on down, shrug the shoulders. And the other way. And hands to your lap, palms press down, fingers spread wide. Close your eyes. Take a deep belly inhale and up into the chest. Exhale out of the mouth. And repeat the process. Inhale and almost feel like you're lifting, like you're filling, like you're going away from the ground. Exhale out of your mouth and feel yourself sink back in. Relax your shoulders, relax your spine. Inhale, get bigger, get light, get lifted. Exhale and sink. One more. And tuck your chin to your chest and breathe slowly and normally. Feel the chest, feel the stretch in the back of the neck. Draw your shoulders back and down. Slow, easy breaths. And back up to center. And then stretch your legs out long for staff pose. You can come to sit on your blanket or your bolster if you would like. Have a little bit of height under your hips. Take a breath. And then bend into the left leg and hold onto the ankle and the knee in a pigeon pose. And move as big as you can into that left hip, supporting the leg with the hands in and out. You're holding the leg in a pigeon position, drawing the ankle toward your chest, and feeling that movement side to side in the hip joint, getting a little bit of movement and flexibility there. And then bring the ankle to the thigh. So your leg is in a pigeon position. Your left leg is in that pigeon stretch. And you cross the ankle to the thigh just as you would if we were going to recline down and hug in. And instead of that, we're going to lift tall. Inhale. And hands can stay on the legs. Slowly exhale and pull yourself into a forward fold. Don't round the spine. Stay lifted through the heart and the chest. Right leg long. The right leg getting that activity, at least in my body, with the weight of the left leg on top of the right leg. It holds it straighter. It holds it longer. And you get to open up into the back of the leg. Take another breath. If it's too intense, come up a little. And exhale back into it. One more breath. And slowly lift the heart. Stay with the left leg crossed on the right leg. I'm going to uncross just so I can turn here. So same position, and then right leg's going to bend. Bring your hands back behind you, fingertips toward you. Bend into your elbows. Right foot on the earth, and gently twist here side to side in a little pigeon twist, going open and then closed with the twist. That left ankle crossing the right thigh and Just moving back and forth. Try to be heavy in your hips here as you roll and break up any tension in your fascia and muscles. And lift back up, unwind, unroll back to center. And take a breath in neutral, lift tall in the spine. And then right leg comes in for rock the baby. Left hand holding the ankle, right hand holding the knee. And slow and easy. Feeling this movement in the sit bone, in that sciatic, in the right piriformis as you're pressing into the earth. And then back to center. Left ankle crosses on top of the right thigh, so you're right above the knee, just as you would be if you were reclining. Flex through the heel, lift tall, inhale. And exhale, pull the chest forward, stay lifted as you fold in. Feel the intensity in the back of the left leg, left toes pointing straight up toward the ceiling. And slowly lift up. Hands go back behind you to support you. Fingers can turn away from you now. Soft bend in the elbows, palms spread flat. And then bend into that left leg, holding the leg in pigeon position. And now scoot gently side to side, getting heavy in your hips and sit bones, your SI joint, and just feel that little massage here as you roll side to side. And back to center. Unwind the legs, bring the soles of the feet together. Reach for your ankles or your toes. Hold on, and the closer you pull the heels to your groin, the deeper the stretch, and it might not feel good. So you can even take those heels further away and let this be really gentle through your hips. Press your knees down toward the earth, lift the heart up, and then slowly fold forward, using your hands to help you forward. And you can even rest your elbows on the knees if you'd like. And slow, easy breaths. And slowly come up. Knees come together and we'll roll on down to our backs. Keep your blanket and bolster handy. We're going to use them a few more times for class. For now, though, just roll on down, hug your knees to your chest. And then feet to the earth. Left ankle will come and cross right thigh for a pigeon stretch. Stay here or hug in. And return to that feeling of the body pressing into the earth. Notice where the hips, the spine, the shoulders, and the back of the head are resting. And as you inhale, feel that little lift. And as you exhale, sink in to where you are resting. Become a little heavier and more connected. And gently relax down, back to center. And second side. Hugging in as you'd like and returning to that feeling of sinking in with your exhales. Slow the breath down and come back to the sound of it. Just in and out through the nose. And slowly relax down. And I'm going to invite you into lots of comfort here. If you have taken off layers and would like to put them back on, please do so. We're going to come into Shavasana, but then we're going to move into a bound angle pose, and then we're going to come back to Shavasana. So we're getting a double Shavasana here with a dose of bound angle pose. So our first Shavasana will be supported with the bolster, where you bring your bolster under your knees. Now your feet can rest on the ground or kind of float up, just like you've just placed them on the pillow. And then you can lie on back and grab your towel to cover your eyes. And you can also grab your blanket to cover your body so that you feel really warm and comfortable. We're going to hold this supported version of Shavasana for a few moments and just let our body really sink in. Then we'll move quietly into our bound angle pose using the bolster in another way, and then come back into Shavasana. So just as soon as you're ready, settle into this place of stillness. Take inhales in through the nose, feel the front of the body light and lifting. Exhaling slowly and completely, feeling the body sinking into the mat and into the bolster. It's almost an active Shavasana where you're following the breath in and feeling that lightness, feeling that lift and clearing with the breath. And the exhale, just creating that sense of calm yet again in the body. It is that simple and that hard all at the same time, where you just have to lie here and breathe and follow the inhales and exhales, allowing everything else to fade to the background. If a thought intrudes, you send it away and come back to the breath. Using your own power to calm your mind, calm your body, and bring yourself into this state of healing. And moving as little as possible, reach on down, move the bolster out of your way. Legs will drop into bound angle pose, so soles of the feet together, knees out to the sides. Then you're going to take your blanket or your bolster or your pillow and bring it to your chest and give it a little hug if it's comfortable for you. And you're going to feel the weight of your blanket or your pillow or your bolster on your chest, on your sternum. You can cover your eyes again if you uncovered them. Make sure you feel comfortable in your legs and just soften into your breath here. Concentrating on the weight of the bolster at your heart and at your sternum. This is a huge signal to the brain to release oxytocin and to allow you to send yourself a huge dose of that love hormone here. So just hug your pillow or let it rest on your chest if that's more comfortable. Breathe slowly and deeply. And just encourage this process of inner peace and inner love. And you can send your legs out long for our second Shavasana here. If you're comfortable with that bolster resting on your chest, I would encourage you to leave it there. The longer you can get this little pressure, the better. You can rest your arms at your sides, just soften into Shavasana, following the breath in and out, and sinking deeper into this state of calm and relaxation. Start to deepen your breath. Move your props gently out of the way. And then just continue to move into your body, nice and gentle. And then as you're ready, roll on up. Find a comfortable cross-legged position. And hands come to your heart in a gesture of gratitude. And let's end class with the sound of 3 ohms. Inhale. Oh. Oh. Thank you for taking the time to take care of yourselves today. Namaste.